Alright, we've got a Rockford Fosgate powered subwoofer we are going to install on a 2005 Honda Civic. Here's our control panel, or maybe what you'd call an amplifier. We'd have our power, our ground, and our remote. We have our audio input, and we have all the controls here. So what came in the kit was all of this stuff here. We have our block that'll plug into here. We have our bass control knob, some fuses, and our audio input. So what I bought was a Rockford Fosgate signal cable to plug into there. We'll need some wire, some small wire for our remote to turn it on, and then our power wire and a fuse with the fuse holder and some odds and ends connections and whatnot. So let's get started. First thing, I need to find a place to come from the battery to the subwoofer itself. So I got to get through the firewall in a safe spot with the grommet, so it is not going to get chafed and short to ground. We'll also have to install the fuse block here somewhere. I'm not sure where yet. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and try to remove this AC box cover underneath here so we can access some wiring. We'll just pull down on the front, and that should release the little clips. We'll try to just work its way out of here. As you can see, I have the plastic piece out, and here's the wiring harness I'm thinking about going right beside. There's already a slit right there, and I'll see if I can get a wire ran through there to pull my big wire through. To make things a little easier, I'm going to remove this air box. You got a bolt here, right down here, got one right there, and right there, I think is all. Alright, with the air box removed, you can see the wiring harness down there. I can get to it a lot easier. I've already cut a slit into it, very shallow slit, so then it does not hurt the wiring. As you can see, it's right there, and hopefully we can just get this through enough and go find it on the inside. I got the green wire in. Now I'll hook on my big wire to this one and pull it through. I got the power wire taped up to my pull-through wire, and we'll pull it through. Alright, I got my fuse block mounted, and the wire ran into the cabin. You got to make sure you're clear of anything that's hot or moving. So all I have left to do is put a wire from here to the positive on the battery. You want that as short as possible, so if there's a short there, then that's where you're not going to be a happy camper. Alright, so to run the wire, we're going to come through there just like we did, and I'm going to run it on this lip right here, and I'll probably run some tape over it, just so it's not on the metal, and so it's kind of like a good transition there, since that's so much higher. We'll come over here, I'll put some wire loom here so then there's no chafing on the wire, and then we'll run it back here. I went ahead and already took off the whatever you want to call that, sill plate cover, and we'll run it back up in through here, and we'll take this back seat off. But to take it off, you gotta remove this bolt right here. It's kind of hard to see. There it is. We'll take that 10mm out, and then that back seat here should come up, and we'll be able to run the wire back up in through here. I'm going to see, hopefully I don't have to take this off, but if I do, I do. To help beef up the electrical system, this was the ground wire going to the body and then the engine and transmission. So I went ahead and I upgraded it just to a really big wire here. I crimped the terminals on there, and yeah, that's a lot bigger now. So I was able to put these studs on here, and I crimped on another terminal end instead of a clamp like this, so then I'm able to put my power wire for my subwoofer right onto that terminal. Alright, we got the subwoofer here. It's going to set a little bit more forward there, but what I ended up doing was bundling together the subwoofer remote, where you adjust I assume the loudness of the subwoofer, and the RCAs that I am running to the head unit. I have combined those two together with some electrical tape, and I've tried to run them apart or separated from the power as much as possible, so then we can eliminate any interference that we can. So I still have to run my ground here, and that's going to be terminated somewhere on the frame right there. So we have our power wire, and we have the remote wire to tell the amplifier to turn on. So those will be terminated when I get my ground wire in. On the side of my car here, you can see I kind of just taped up the signal wires so we eliminate any interference. I know they're not separated very far, but I would have ran them down here, but I have this bolt for the seat, and I just didn't really want to mess with that stuff and all those fasteners, so I ended up just running it right there, taping it, trying to separate it. And this power wire here is zip tied with this trunk wire, I think it is, or the cable, so that should be good to go. I will get this stuff ran to the radio, the remote wire, and the signal wire, so we're going to be able to have that done here shortly. Alright, so I went ahead and got this pulled out of here like so, and there's these little clips you can take out for the limit on that glove box, and I went ahead and I ran the wires, as you can see, right up on top with the other wires, zip tied it up nice, make sure there's nothing rubbing on metal, and I now have it coming through here, and this is where I'm going to coil whatever I don't need. As you can see, I already have my other radio wires kind of tucked up nicely up in here. So I'll have to take this out, and if you need help taking any of this out, there's plenty of good YouTube videos on how to remove all this stuff, so I won't get into that. But alright, so we're getting this sub wired up back here, and I just wanted to show you what I use is called wire ferrules, and they go on the end of the wire there, as you can see, and I just heat shrink on the very tip to hold it on, and that'll actually slide in here really clean, and it looks really good, as opposed to, you know, just stripping your wire and shoving your wires in there. It looks a lot better, it's a lot cleaner. Alright, we got the signal wires and the power wires all wired up. Everything's on there like it should be. We have the subwoofer powering up. We also got everything wired going to the radio. We have our subwoofer switch in there and all the plastics and everything back in, so it's ready to test.